You are listening to a Pod Bros exclusive.
Hey now, everyone. We are live, episode 78, Take Aim Outdoor Podcast, and pretty excited, as always, to have another great guest on. And today we have Jason Gassaway from Impact Insanity TV. So, Jason, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Not bad, man. That's freezing cold in Michigan, about 14 degrees. Me and you were just talking. I'm a little bit jealous of what you guys got going on in California.
Yeah, we're wearing shorts and T-shirts the last few days.
Unbelievable. So that's pretty nice. But hopefully here next week we're actually going to have a 50-degree day. So pretty excited about that. That's going to feel like a heat wave.
Well, I guess that's we've been in the 70s for the last week.
I'm jealous. That's all I got to say. But you guys got a lot going on, but I would like to talk about you a little bit. And you have a pretty neat background, so why don't you share with everybody, Jason, just about yourself, where you came from, and what you've been doing.
Yeah, I was raised in a little town up in Northern California called McLeod, and I was fortunate enough to move down to Redding. Grew up playing sports, and of course hunting and fishing. That was a big thing for our family. It's got us all together, and we just enjoyed the outdoors. And, my dad and my stepdad as well, just taught me how to hunt starting at an early age. It was pretty nice. And then, so then I got out of high school and ended up in a law enforcement career. I did about 20 years in law enforcement, and, I had a real successful career. I was a canine handler for about 8.5 years. I worked undercover narcotics, and then did about 15 years on the SWAT team.
That's amazing. So what was that like, Jason? I mean, that's a big big job, big high-pressure job, probably a lot of stress.
Yeah, it's kind of, you take every day, one step at a time. And, it wasn't as hard on me as the family. That's ultimately when I retired. My wife had had a couple incidents a few years in a row, and a couple close calls, and she just said, it's time to, I'm ready for you to hang it up. So that's what I ended up doing, and ended up retiring as a sergeant. I was a SWAT team leader when I retired. So, real fun and successful career.
Yeah, that's very interesting. But I'll just say that, right up front, thanks for your service, because that's pretty awesome that you're out there protecting people's lives.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. So, Jason, tell me a little bit about the whole, I know you said you got to grow up hunting and doing some fishing and stuff like that, but if you don't mind, go a little bit deeper into that, where you guys, kind of cut your teeth on hunting and what you like to do in California.
Sure, yeah. We're real fortunate. A lot of people, they go, oh, it's California. They're, hunting and fishing really in California, but I was raised way up north, towards Mount Shasta, actually, and so we were just absolutely blessed up here. You drive, 5 minutes from our house and our hunting. So we hunted a lot around the McLeod and Mount Shasta area with my real father, and so I got raised doing drives and working brush and spot and stalk. So it was just it's kind of a dynamic situation for me with my stepdad, because my stepdad, I was raised, at 8 years old, we were climbing into the back country. We'd go in about 8 miles, and rough it, in camp, and, hunt the high mountain blacktail. And so it was awesome, because I got to do, was raised and learned 2 totally different ways to hunt. So which in turn made me a lot better hunter in the end.
That is cool, Jason. I know that I've had a few guys on from California now on the show, and it just seems to be really funny to me that California is, to a lot of guys, a lot of sportsmen, it's just such an underrated state to hunt in.
Yeah, and it's true. It's we absolutely have, every year we are fortunate to just take some absolutely great bucks. For example, my wife this year, and there'll be an episode coming out. My wife's been with me for 27 years. We got together when we were 15 years old, and she'd go and hunt and she'd help film or take pictures, but she never really wanted to hunt. Well, this year she decided, it was her first year, she was going to give her a go, and we found a buck early in archery season that I went after a few times, but I decided just to leave it for her, and she ended up just killing just a stud blacktail for her first year. So pretty magical moment after 27 years to have her finally go out and do it with me.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did she feel about the whole hunt and like the emotion of it and the all that good stuff?
It's funny because, and like I said, Brandon, one of the things you'll see in the episode when we post it is her emotions ran so kind of crazy that she didn't even real talk when we did the recovery. She was just, there was tears, there was happiness, there was sadness, so it was kind of just that huge, up and down of emotions for her. But in the end, she enjoyed it. She's glad she did it. I don't know if she'll do it again. She really loves to film and take photos more than anything.
Yeah, I feel for her. That's a lot of emotions, especially for somebody's first time. She probably has seen it from you from the outside so many times, but when you're in it, it's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah, and it's funny because you said, she's filmed for me, I don't know how many times, and that's what she said. She said when she's behind the camera, the emotion of actually taking that animal's life and going through that, she said it's not the same because she's so tuned in on the filming portion that when she actually pulled the trigger and saw the deer go, and then it was kind of a cool deer. We had spotted him from another ridge. We knew where he went, but we wanted to just let him lay, and we spotted him actually where we ended up recovering him. And it was like I said, there was a lot of tears. So, but a great moment for us.
Yeah, that's super cool. So, Jason, in the part of California you live in, do you guys have to do anything special to get your resident blacktail tags?
No, our blacktail, the zones that we hunt for blacktail, they're all over the counters. They're over the counters for out of state also. So we've got several different wildernesses here. We've got the Trinity Alps, we've got the Marbles, the Russians, and the Yolo wilderness areas. And the biggest thing is with our weather and the droughts that we've had, it's really changed the way the blacktail have moved over the years. So it's a relatively hard hunt. You got to really put a lot of time in the scouting time, unless you know somebody. Because we used to pattern them so easy back when I was younger, because our weather was so much cooler. But with the heat, it's really moving these bucks. These blacktail usually they'll like real high, in the rocks, and now they're moving into these deep draws. So it's pretty easy to get a tag. It's just putting the time in to really get a quality animal.
Gotcha. So is it the epitome of kind of what a backcountry hunt is, I would say?
Yeah, no, this is we do, it's pretty hardcore. We go in, the opening weekend that I go in with some buddies. We take mules and horses. We go in, set up a camp. And I mean, you're going to really put some miles on. I go where I hunt, I drop down about a mile into a bottom of a big ravine, and then I work my way out hunting it. And it's a full day's work. I mean, you're talking by the end of 4 or 5 days hunting, you're pretty wore out.
Oh, I bet. That's nothing but work,
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's my wife. She went up there one time with me, and she said, "I don't understand how this is fun." So it was the last time she was in the backcountry with me.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit, Jason, about the Impact Insanity Outdoors TV, and I know you got quite a team behind you, and kind of what else you guys do and where else you guys hunt and stuff like that.
So, I mean, Impact started it. It's kind of a cool story. I started filming years ago, but just never really did anything with it. And I've been real fortunate to take some, just some quality animals, caught it on film, and I started talking with Seth Mason. Seth used to film for Primal Instinct. He ended up leaving them, and we started to form Impact, myself, Seth, and then my good buddy who's like a brother, Steve Rhodes. So we came up with a name. We started building our Instagram and Facebook stuff, and then Chad Mendez came on. And with Chad, it's kind of a unique situation. A really good friend of ours. So we brought Chad in, and at first he was just going to be a full-time pro staff guy. But with his schedule and everything that's going on, what we've done is we've transitioned into he's going to be a guest. He's going to do 2 or 3 hunts with us a year. One of them this year is going to be super exciting. We're going to do another Idaho or Utah hunt down in out of Monticello. So what we're doing is we've transitioned from 4 of us to 3 of us, and we are going to be doing a bunch of guest hunters. So we've got some great UFC guys lined up that are going to be coming in and hunting with us, and also some baseball players. So it's going to be an exciting year with some great hunts. We've got at this point we're looking at we're going to be doing some Alaska trips, and our Alaska trips are going to probably be moose, caribou, and grizzly, and then of course the states we're going to be all over, Montana, Colorado, Wyoming, and Utah, and then California. And one of our things that we want to really do, Brandon, is we want to keep it real. So, and what I mean by that is when I edit, when we're editing our stuff now, we're not going to have, if we find a scene that's emotional and yet maybe it's not in focus real good or it's shaking a little bit, we're going to leave that in. We want the people to see, the real life of what's happened.
Yeah, for sure. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of TV, and you probably watch a lot of outdoor television, Jason. A lot of it is gone maybe so to the artsy, fartsy kind of way that a lot of it has begun to just become mundane. Like, I'm kind of tired of seeing guys walk really slow through a wheat field. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, yeah, and that's the cool thing is the other thing is we're doing 90% public land. So next Thursday we're going to be airing episode 4 is going to be going up. It's a Montana hunt. It's a whitetail hunt, and you're going to see we don't kill 130 to 160 class whitetail. It's going to be what the average guy is probably going to get on that hunt. And that's what we want to do. We want to show the reality of public land hunting, backcountry hunting, and keep it just keep it real and raw.
Yeah, for sure. And I know a lot of people like that, and that kind of communicates with them because that's what a lot of guys are doing.
Yeah.
They get not all of us get the opportunity to hunt a lot of big private land ranches or private land properties, so that's very cool. How do you go about, Jason, like picking out some of these, public land areas that you guys kind of zone in to hunt?
That's the trick to it, and it's really, and we're very open on our Instagram. People go on and ask us questions, and we'll answer. I don't mind telling people how to do it. To me, if I can share what I've learned, I'm 45 years old or almost 45. If I can share it with younger people or even older in the industry to help them out, I'm all for that. So what I try and do is say I'm going to Wyoming and I want to hunt, like say the Battle Mountain area, because I hunted that area and this is how I went about it. So the first thing I do is I'll call Wyoming, the Fish and Wildlife. I'll get a hold of a biologist, and I research the numbers and the percentages. Check the tags, see what the percentage for the kill rate is, the harvest rate, and then I get a hold of a biologist. If I can't get a biologist, I'll get a game warden. They're real good about suggesting different areas to hunt. Once I get an area like that I've got an idea on, I'll get on Google Earth and let's say I'm hunting elk archery season. what I'm going to do is get a Google, and I'm going to try and find water holes, just things that I know they're going to keep animals in the area. So I'll check that. I'll find the zone. I'll find the draw percentage. If it's a draw or if it's an over counter, it's not as hard. But then I just start doing, phone calls, making contacts with Fish and Game or biologists, and I have had absolutely unbelievable success doing that. And that's pretty much how I start off all of mine.
Yeah, that's very good tips. So when you make those phone calls, Jason, do you start off with saying, hey, I'm looking at, zone A or B or zone 5 or 6, that kind of, you give them the direction you're thinking about and then start from there to ask about their herd health or numbers?
Yeah, actually, I don't, because what I've found in the past is what I'll do is I'll call and I'll talk to a game warden and I'll say, hey, this is my name, this is where I'm from, I've never hunted Wyoming, and I'm looking for a good area for an archery deer hunt. And I'm just trying to get some input. I know you guys, cover the state and you're in the woods all the time. And a lot of times you'll find an area that you wouldn't have found before just by putting the question out there of just you're looking for a place. Now, some game wardens won't tell you because they're hunters and they don't want to give up their spots. And I understand that. So if that happens, then I'll ask a specific area and see what their input for that area is.
Okay. That's good advice. I think a lot of guys just kind of skip out on calling it the local biologist and finding out what's going on.
Yeah, and sometimes you can get away with just going to an area and maybe finding a quality animal or really, Brandon, what's a quality animal? Because for me, anything I harvest is a trophy because it's a memory. Obviously, we all want to kill that 200-inch buck every time we go out, but the reality, it's not going to happen unless you got big dollars and you can get into places that the average guy can't.
Right.
So
yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a lot of early season. I mean, right now really is the time of year to start making your calls because all your deadlines are going to be coming up for draws. So I'd be on the phone now. We've been super successful. I mean, I can't stress enough, for people to jump on the phone, especially biologists. Biologists, if you can get a hold of one, they're awesome usually to talk to.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good tips. And Jason, do you guys or do you personally, what makes up like this 2016 year? Are you kind of looking at, certain states you like or certain animals you like, or what makes you say, what makes you put out the schedule, this is where we're going and what we're doing?
Well, what we like to try and do is we try and get input from everybody on social media, from our, we're growing our Instagram page still. We got our Facebook. So we put it out there, where people want to see us go. I mean, anybody that's listening, that checks us out, give us input. I mean, we want to hear where people want us to go. Right now on our schedule, we're definitely going to Wyoming on another archery antelope hunt. Absolutely. Last year we had a phenomenal time and just had a unbelievable three archery antelopes in one day. It was incredible. We hunted 2 days and we're done, which was kind of a bummer, but hey, we got it done. So we're definitely going to Wyoming. We've got Oregon elk. I've been hunting Oregon for elk for 25 years now. And then we're going back to Montana. We're putting in for the Missouri Breaks for archery elk, which is an unbelievable place to hunt. If you're going to put in for Montana for archery elk, that's the spot to go. And then we're going all back to Montana again for whitetail. We're going to be hunting the Ruby River area. And then, like I said, Utah. We've got Utah planned. We're going to be going down to Monticello. That should be an incredible hunt. We hunted this year. Chad and I, we filmed his hunt on the ponds, which I don't know if you guys saw on our social media, but he killed an unbelievable 218-inch buck. And the kicker, it was on public land. It wasn't on private. So, and then Alaska. And then, of course, we do, as you know, we do a lot of hog hunts because we have unbelievable hog hunting here in California. Yeah,
you guys do. Holy cow. Now, Jason, obviously like an invasive species. So do you have to have any type of hunting license for those in California?
Yeah, here's the thing about California. They don't miss out on a dime. We used to be able to, it's true, we used to be able to get a pig tag for like $1, or it was like $7, and then it went to $7 for 5. But now, because the hog hunting's gotten so popular in California, for a resident, we have to have our hunting license, but then every pig is, I think it's $25 a tag now. So
wow, really?
Yeah, it's, and again, I mean, I live in California. It's kind of expected. That's just how it is. They get a dime if they realize how popular one of our animals are to hunt. They're going to jack those prices, and that's exactly what they've done with the pigs.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that is crazy. But the tags itself are pretty much unlimited, I would assume.
Yeah, you can get up to 5 at a time, and they're unlimited for the year. You can get as many as you want.
And there's no season on them?
No season, year round. It makes it nice. And I'll tell you what. Here's a little something that's a great thing for people. If people have an opportunity to hog hunt, there's no better practice on working wind than on a spot and stalk hog archery hunt. They are one of my favorites. Their vision's not the best, their hearing's not the best, but man, they have got the best nose you ever seen. And we're going to be we've got some really cool stuff coming up where we've stalked in real close, and we've got kind of some tutorial stuff for people that are interested in spot and stalks on hogs.
Yeah, that's super cool. I've always heard they have a nose that's just insane. So very good. Yeah, very good way to practice. You're right.
Yeah, no, unbelievable. But you can also trick them, though, because, like, we've got a lot of briars, real thick stuff they'll get in. And if you come into them and they don't smell you, you can throw rocks in there and they'll make noise, but they won't bust out. So what we learned years and years ago is if we got a wind, what we'll do is we'll put someone down below them, and then we'll get above them, let that wind blow through there, and they'll slowly work their way right down out. And it works unbelievable.
That's kind of neat. It's kind of like a hog drive, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. It takes one guy to get up there, let that wind hit you in the back, and those pigs will just work their way out. And usually we'll have one or two guys sitting down there waiting.
Yeah, that is neat. You got a lot going on this year, Jason. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to, let's say, more than something else? I mean, is there something on the list that you're super pumped to go do?
Yeah, I've been to Alaska one other time, and Alaska is a big thing. This trip that we're going on, we have a friend up there. He's going to fly us in, and we're going to do this combination hunt. I'm just super excited. I'm going to be hunting with my bow. Steve's going to be hunting with a rifle, and I think that Seth's going to be combination in it. So, I mean, that's just a hunt that we're super, super excited about. It's going to be real exciting. We're going to do a camp in the back, out on the tundra. So should make for some great footage, some great filming. So we've got that one. That's an exciting one. And then I've got a good buddy of mine, Eric Gould, with Artistic Wildlife. He's known across the world for his taxidermy work. And he's doing a Dall sheep hunt in September, and I'm going to go with him and film that hunt. So that's going to be a pretty exciting hunt also.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So the hunt, let me back up a little bit, Jason. The hunt you guys are going on is for caribou, is that correct?
Yeah, caribou and moose.
Caribou and moose, okay. And you're bow hunting, right?
Yeah, I'm bow hunting. Yep. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well,
should be exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. When? What time of year is that one?
We're going to be going twice. It looks like we're going to be going the end of July, because the end of July is just pretty much caribou hunting's open, and then we're going to go back into August to go back for moose again. So it should be exciting. And then it's going to kind of depend on this hunt. There's not specific dates that are set, because our buddy that's up there is going to just call us when the moose get real active again. Then we're going to roll. That's when we'll head up for those. But the caribou, like I said, will be the end of July.
Yeah, was that the part of Alaska? Because I don't know exactly where you're going, Jason. Is it going to be barren ground or are those mountain caribou?
Caribou is going to be barren.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Well, I know
I
went, like you said, years ago or a few years back, and I saw the picture on you guys' Instagram page. But go ahead and explain that hunt a little bit.
Yeah, this is a great hunt for guys that. Again, the money is a concern, and you don't have big money to spend. So what I did is a buddy of mine and we flew into Fairbanks. We rented a truck, and we actually drove up the Dalton Highway up towards Prudhoe Bay. We ended up just parking at a place called Tulip Pass and set up our stuff right there, and we would hike out about 5 miles every day and hunt. And it was unbelievable for a do-it-yourself, very inexpensive hunt. It was one of the funnest hunts I've ever done. I've literally seen thousands and thousands of caribou.
Are you kidding?
No. And again, I mean, anybody that wants information or wants to know about like that hunt, for example, man, feel free to hit me up. You can get us on our Instagram page or our Facebook, and I'm more than willing to point guys or gals in that direction for that, because that's a great hunt.
Yeah, that sounds like it. You don't get many, big style do-it-yourself hunts like that where you can, make it all the way to Alaska and make it, what's called affordable anymore.
Yeah. No, and it's not bad because, I think that the tags and my first tagging license was $400, and then I got an additional tag for $300. So $700, and I've got my hunting license and 2 caribou tags. And from hunting here in the States, I mean, you can't. There's no way you can do really in any state, for big game, elk and deer, where you're going to be able to do that. I mean, Oregon, I think, is $1,000 now. Most of them are around $9,000 to $1,000.
Yeah, it's not nowhere is cheap anymore for a non-resident.
No.
Crazy.
No, that's for sure. But that hunt up there is a hunt I would recommend to anybody. And I mean, I can, anybody that's interested, please feel free to hit me up. I mean, you can reach out to me if you have somebody that asks, and I can tell them exactly how to do it, where to go, and reasonably cheap.
Now, Jason, is that just, I'm kind of curious, is that tag basically like over the counter, or did you have to put in for it at a certain draw date?
No, it's over the counter. This is what makes it nice. So you can get 5 caribou tags. I went up there when we first got there, I bought 1 tag because, I just didn't know. It was my first time up there. Went up there, and of course, bad part about it is we get there, we drove 8 hours from Fairbanks, got there. I pull my bow back on my first bull, and my string catches my binos, jerks it out of my hand. My string pops off my bow. So I tried MacGyvering it. It didn't have a tool to put it back on. I had to drive back to Fairbanks and get it put on. 45 minutes, everything's done, slide it in, and head back up. So that's how the first day started for us. It was pretty brutal. But on the way back up, I was glassing as we were driving at midnight. It's crazy because it's light, and I spotted the big bull I killed about a half a mile out, did a stalk on him and took him. So I got him tagged. Well, now here I am, no tag. The good thing is about 2 hours from where we hunt is a place called Coldfoot, and you can buy another tag there. So I just shot back, got another tag, came back, and I was able to continue hunting.
Wow, that's amazing. So, that's the worst feeling in the world for a bow hunter when that string pops off those cans. So how bad were you freaking out? Because it's always even nerve-wracking just going into a pro shop you don't know anybody, or anything about.
I'm going to tell you that the most nerve-wracking part is the string pops off of my binos, and as I'm looking at my string hanging there, I look up, and here's this double shovel bull. It's still sitting there at 38 yards looking at me. And, it was a helpless feeling. We got back to the truck, but I've learned, they make the little, the handheld, basically the presses to get your strings back on. I have one now with me all the time, and I've had to use it one other time in Oregon. So, but it helped us feeling, driving, we basically drove 16 hours straight to get there, get it fixed. And that's after we had drove 8 hours up there to hunt. So
unbelievable. Well, super exciting.
Oh, awesome hunt. I mean, we didn't see any grizzlies in the area. They're typically not in that area, but we saw everything else from muskox to black bears to wolves to moose. It was just an incredible area.
That is incredible. That's a dream hunt for sure for anybody.
Yeah.
So, Jason, where can we find you guys at Impact, and where can everybody see the show and that good stuff?
Well, we're on Instagram. It's under Impact Insanity Outdoors. I run the main page, and then Seth and Steve have their own pages. And Seth's is Impact Insanity Seth, and then Steve is under Steve Rhodes. And then we're also on Facebook. We have a page on Facebook. It's the same thing, Impact Insanity Outdoors. And then our website is feartheimpact.tv. So we're on all three places. We just started our YouTube channel about 8 months ago. We just started putting episodes. So we've got 3 episodes up now. The first episode was a hog hunt with my son and I. The second episode was a hog hunt with my son and I, and we hunted with a buddy of mine. He owns Rawhide West Outfitters here in California. Unbelievable place he has, and I mean there is boatloads of hogs on this ranch. So you'll see on the YouTube channel, and then Seth just posted a kind of a short, real quick, in-your-face spot and stalk antelope hunt with Steve. It's got a little bit of humor in it, and it's pretty cool spot and stalk with multiple angles from different cameras. And this is one that I was telling you, we don't take out some of the shaky stuff. We just, maybe if it's so bad that it gives you a headache or something, but you'll see in that one if you get on YouTube and watch it, pretty awesome. And then Thursday we will be posting a whitetail hunt that Steve and I were on, and it's all edited and finished, and it turned out just incredible. I mean, awesome show. So
hey, Jason, say that one more time. You cut out pretty bad and couldn't hear you. So yeah,
okay, what part?
Repeat that for us.
Okay, the white. Okay, so we just finished editing a whitetail hunt out of Montana that Steve and I were on, and I mean it turned out incredible. It's a super exciting hunt, and it's a public land, and you'll hear us talk. It's public land. It's the reality of hunting. We didn't kill 150-inch bucks. We killed smaller bucks, but they were trophies. We were super happy with them, and that's going to be posted this coming Thursday. On our YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel is the same as all the rest. It's Impact Insanity Outdoors.
Very cool. I know you do run a really good Instagram page. It's just so everybody knows it's Impact_Insanity_Outdoors. But a bunch of great photos, and I mean, it sounds like you guys got a ton of great stuff coming up, some great footage, and obviously a super great episode with Chad and that giant buck coming up. And
yep.
Man, I can't wait to see your guys' Alaska stuff as well.
Yeah, Chad's hunt's it's pretty awesome. We got some good footage. We had a real close call, and you guys will see it with a rattlesnake. We both almost stepped right on top of him, and it got both of us jumping around. So there's pretty good footage of that, and we had some fun. There's some really funny moments in it, and yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. The footage. I'll just give you a little taste. We literally sat on this buck bedded down for 10.5 hours, waiting for him to move. Incredible footage from up above. We had somebody with a camera shooting down, and it's going to be an incredible episode.
Well, that's awesome. And Jason, what's the website one more time?
It's feartheimpact.tv.
Awesome,
and
man.
yeah, you can get on there. We got hats and shirts, and all of our apparel are on there. And one of the things, Brent, I want to really point on is with our Instagram page especially, we really want it to be interactive. We want people to ask questions. You will see if you reach out to us on there, it does not take me very long to answer. I can say that typically within 10 minutes I answer questions, unless we're on a hunt or in the backcountry scouting or something. But we want the people that support us to feel like they're part of the team as well. This is for me personally, if I'm following somebody and I get on there and I ask a question and then I never hear from them, it's a little frustrating. It kind of takes you down a little bit because you want to be so interactive with those people. We will always answer questions. We'll help out however we can. Any advice, we'll give it, and we don't mind sharing our areas that we hunt at all. So people, I can't stress enough that we really want people interactive with us.
Yeah, that's awesome, Jason. And I'll be the first one to say, guys, there isn't many people in the industry willing to put that info out. I don't know anybody pretty much willing to share zones or spots like Jason is. So kudos to you, Jason, for doing that because, I know from experience people don't do that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. And like I said, we're trying to help other people and, build their own memories. And if we can be part of building that memory, even if it's from the beginning, to give them a little advice, man, that's what this is about.
No, absolutely. You're right. And I hope in the future, Jason, me and you get to share a camp and, record some good footage and maybe record a podcast one day live from hunting camp.
Absolutely. No, we can set it up. That sounds great to me. And like we've talked, man, it'd be awesome. Get you out here on a good hog hunt, and we can flat lay some swine down and have a action-packed episode to have on.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to fling arrows too, so I'd be looking forward to it for sure. So, Jason, man, thanks so much for coming on. And anytime you want to got something to say or anything to do, man, just give me a shout and let's do it again.
Absolutely. One thing real quick, Brian, I want to do is one of the things that we're also involved in is we're involved with Brian, with BAM, with Wishes for Warriors. We've got some hunts that we're going to be doing with those guys. But the big thing is, man, anybody listening to this, if you're not following those guys, go follow them. These guys, BAM and these guys are doing some incredible stuff for our vets. These guys, just hanging out with them at the ATA and the SHOT Show, it just really made me realize how fortunate we are. And I don't know if you saw my post on Instagram about the little girl.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Jason, to be honest.
So here I am, this, and for you guys that haven't seen me, I'm 5'11", 250, kind of a big musclehead looking guy. And
you're a big boy.
Yeah, and I'm watching American Idol of all things, and this little girl comes on to sing, and just tears in her eyes, wishing her mom could be there because she was overseas. And of course, they surprised her mom came in. But man, people, I don't think we all understand how much it means to the family and to our vets to show that appreciation, even if it's just going to the page and following them. But we need to support these men and women, and not only the men and women that are veterans, but their families. They give a lot up for us, and so we're going to be really involved with Wishes as we grow. We're going to be more involved with them. So I just ask everybody out there, go give these guys a follow and show your support to the men and women that to protect this great country and give us our freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice of you to say that, Jason. And that's one thing I definitely need to do is maybe through you, I'd like to connect with those guys and have them on because I know that's just kind of amazing stuff they're doing, and it's so great to see that being done. And I definitely would like to pass that along to other people because they're doing such a tremendous job. And I know they're working with a bunch of people in the outdoor industry to help these vets, and I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, and that's exactly. We've been fortunate enough. We've been became part of the Mountain Ops family, and they're doing some great stuff with the guys that share in the booth and the support. But yeah, we're a new team, but we're fairly aggressive. We're growing fast, and we got some great things coming.
Well, nothing wrong with that, Jason. I know I like what you guys are doing, and like I said, I can't wait to have you on the show again and reconnect with you.
Sounds great, and let's put that hog hunt together.
Yeah, we'll make it happen for sure. And as I close this show, everybody, you know where to find us. Live every Tuesday on the Outdoor Podcast channel, live every Tuesday on podbros.com, live on iTunes as well. So make sure you just take 30 seconds out of your time, leave us a 5-star review and some comments how to make the show better or what you like about the show. We greatly appreciate it. So, Jason, one more time, thanks so much for your time today.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure, and thank you.
No problem.